All right, there we go. Sorry, I had to turn the talk back on. I think we're here. We're live and ready to go. Welcome to my live stream. We got a lot to go into today. This is going to be fun. So let's just make sure everything's minimized and out the way. You all know why you're here. We're looking at this guy. Read It and Weep by Barron. I'm just checking that the phone stream works. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay, so welcome. We're going to check out how I made this today. So if you haven't heard it, I guess let's start by just a little listen through. Let's check this out. Here's Read It and Weep. All right, so that is just a little snippet of the song. So let's look at how we got there, I guess, and talk about the process a little bit. So let me just get my notes. All right, yeah. So this song was written way back during quarantine. I guess it was like May of last year. With this girl named Emma Botti, who, or Botti, I actually don't know. But we met on a Zoom session. It was hooked up through Quadio Records, and we wrote this song that day to a prompt, nothing crazy. I was just kind of producing, as we were going. And this is kind of where we started. So here's a little bit of like Emma's original demo, just, see where we started, where we got. And I don't really need to talk about production that much in this. It's not that crazy or exciting, or at very least, we'll talk about it later. So here's what Emma sounds like.
But I'm the only one who's got me. I got no more heartbreak and no more tears. No more tears. I'm doing this shit on my own, 'cause I don't want to waste my best years. No more half-ass situations. I give myself all that I need. My exes can read it and when I fall like a big beggar, when I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough. When I fall, I get right back up. When I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough.
So that's what Emma sounded like. And I mean, she's to credit for all of the harmony, coming up with all that stuff. I added like one part in the bridge, I think. I don't really think I added anything else, and she cut the leads. I did a little altar boy effects on them, and those actually made it to the final. These guys right here.
Distraction.
So that was in kind of from the beginning. All of that stuff during the verses, those altar boy kind of things that layer in. I layered the chorus, I guess, with a little altar boy too. But yeah, we'll talk about most of this when we get to Ali's stuff. And Emma's harmonies and all of these harmonies actually just stayed in the final version, and we had Ali cut over them. So, low key, Emma and I are still in the song. There's maybe only like one other thing I can think of that's from this version that's worth mentioning, which was this idea for the weep at the end. That again, we'll come back to, but I like it a lot when she does weep at the end. I can't remember if I used this version or if we used one of Ali doing it, but this weep at the end. Yeah, so that was that was fun. I don't know. I feel like we should talk about the processing when I do like look at Allie's sessions and all that. So we can get there. Yada yada yada. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that was pretty much everything. I want to go to Allie's now, because we can talk about like the vocal processing and the chain and all that and craziness. But we might as well do that on hers, not the demo, because it's going to be the same processing anyway. So let's swap it over to Allie's vocal. And then we'll do the track. You know, it's just that I did the vocals in a separate Logic file and then had to kind of send them out separately when we sent them to the mixer. So big guy right here. My microphone. There we go. I think you can hear me now. I hope. Um, we're switching sessions. I realize I have to do this every time I switch sessions. Just put the microphone on. Okay, so here we are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and now I have to probably turn that off. So some feedback or something. All right, cool. So here's Allie's session. She came over the summer at some point to cut the rest of this. And so we recut the lead, got a little left-right double for the choruses and the bridge. I probably played around with the altar boy a little more down here. And then we left some of Emma's stuff in right here. Had Allie record more, just to layer in with what Emma had already had. So let's go in a little bit, I guess, because it's probably worth talking about. Here's where we started. Let's just do a little exposing. This is where we started.
Do you wanna know all of my deepest secrets like never before? 'Cause I bet you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, all of the boys I kept on thinking I needed were just a distraction.
So it didn't sound bad or anything. She cut them standing right next to me. So that was chill. And then we ran some stuff on them, I guess. This is my standard. This is kind of how it goes. We have like a conservative gate, just to get rid of just to cut the pauses between the vocals out. Some people can test me for this. I don't know. Melodyne, obviously I had to tune a bunch of stuff. Auto-tune, straightforward. You can actually see the EQ right there. Pretty basic looking. A compressor, honestly, not my favorite vocal compressor, but I used it at the time, so here we are. Saturation from FabFilter. This is great. I love this thing. So saturation, fresh air is free. It's from Slate. Followed by de-esser, just the stock one, which is kind of funny. Now I would use a Waves one. CLA vocals. I just saw Mike Dean roasting this. I didn't use it for very much, obviously. I guess it was a broad stroke thing. And a little retro color for just pizzazz, I guess. Just a teeny bit of pizzazz. Running through my 4 buses, which are all reverbs. So we got the short filtered out. These are all Valhalla Room, I think. The plate, same story. The hall. And then actually delay. Delay, pushed out to the sides with a little sample delay. Filtered again and put more reverb on it. Love this reverb. We're probably going to see a lot of this in the stream today. Native Instruments, love this reverb so much. And then I guess I put even a little extra Valhalla Room on the bus because I just wanted to give the whole vocal bus its own kind of reverb sound. Now, it goes without saying, we passed all of this to JJ Corey Rossi, JJ Catalyst, who is a fantastic mixer. All of this got passed to him. So whatever he did, this is not, I don't have that stuff, so I can't show you that. So he worked the magic, but this is what I sent him. So yeah, that's about as far as we can go with that. So like I said, chorus was triple tracked, little altar boy was in there.
Doing this shit on my own, 'cause I don't wanna waste my best year.
So you can't really like notice that it's there, but I think it adds a little bit just to like thicken the sound in addition to those doubles. Aside from being used as an accent. I think altar boy is a really cool thing to use as a layer as well. I'm just looking at the lead right now. And then, yeah, this bridge lead, we did keep kind of what Emma was doing in there as well.
When I fall right back up.
This is great. Love this system overload's great. But yeah, Emma's in there too. That's all I'm going to say on that. No! I'll turn the track off. Maybe it's because my talkback is like also eating some stuff up, so let me turn that off. All right, it might just be panicking. And that just sometimes happens. I mean, when you got a board that looks like this, I don't need to be this much on it, so that's kind of on me. I'll see if I can quit anything else, but yeah, I can tell it's like crapping out. So about that. All right, cool. Well, if it's gonna keep doing, give me a minute. Some stuff. Just trying to like clear some processor. This easier. Just turn all this stuff off. Doesn't need to be active. That way I can listen to it. That's better. Okay. I don't even know what I turned off, but yeah, we kept Emma in the bridge, and everything else is pretty straightforward, I guess. Probably worth talking about the Ad-Lib processing. I could do that real quick. So let's check this out. That's the stuff that's like kind of this.
No. Yeah.
So that kind of stuff that comes in kind of, at that last chorus, that's just kind of, it's kind of adding, more to what's already there, singing over it. So we got the standard vocal chain I already had plus some extras, and the extras are extra reverb from Realm, the distortion from Decapitator, another EQ, I guess we boosted it a little bit in the low mids, and then the delay just to like give it a little extra echo. And I probably also dialed up the reverb that was coming in on the buses just to like, again, make it feel bigger and wetter than it already was. I know I even added another bus on on this harmony. Did just a little bit more processing, a little bit more compression with like OTT, and then another bus that's just one more reverb for extra fatness on this guy. Give me a sec. Don't like this being this way. All right. Cut all this. Right here. Maybe. I don't know if it's my buffer speed or what, but it's being finicky. I mean, I'll bump that up, I guess, real quick. But yeah, there really isn't too much more to see. I mean, in this session, go to the production one. I guess worth mentioning is the harmonies. Again, she just cut. So she just cut her own layers on these harmonies.
That is enough.
Ugh. Yeah. Let me switch it back. Yeah. Let's change this output up. I think it might help. Everybody bear with me on the stream. I don't know if it's like when I'm trying to stream that it acts like this, or if it's just because I have too many plugins. I want to believe it's because of the streaming, because it wouldn't normally be panicking so much. Like normally when I produce, it doesn't, do all this stuff and crap out like this. So let's just do the thing where we quit stuff. And oh wait, don't want to do that. Definitely shouldn't do that. Definitely don't quit that. I have to leave that. That's the stream. Okay, it changed back. Cool. Hopefully this higher I/O speed works better.
Read it and we. When I fall, I get right back up. When I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough. When I fall, I get right back up. When I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough.
There we go. Now I can actually listen to stuff. So all of that was probably processed the exact same way. I do have a take of me, got a take of Emma. Yeah, wait, hold on. Make that talk back louder too. There we go. So yeah, all of that in the bridge. Actually, looks like I did process that just on the sum. So here's the sum. Same reverb and delay buses. And then this is all what I would normally do. I guess I added spiff. Probably because it just made it even punchier, I think. It's kind of good for that, like working with transients. That's my guess. Probably also because I had just gotten it, so I wanted to try it. And then huge reverb, Valhalla and Realm again. I'm actually surprised that I didn't put distortion on this, but I guess that it already has like, there's so much happening that the distortion is actually kind of natural, and y'all can judge me and say that's poor form. But I kind of like that crunch that it does have from honestly being a little overloaded. I have no idea what JJ did, but yeah. So we got all that, all those layers, just a ton of harmonies. Again, Emma came up with all of these pretty much. I just added maybe like one that was missing or something. I don't know. And then we also had Allie do these claps right here that were right to the track.
That is enough. When I fall, I get.
So that was just to kind of go against the 12/8, and I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to get like something live because the claps I had were fake, and so we blended them in. All right, that's really it on Ali's session. So then I flew that all over to the main session. So here's the meat and potatoes. Sorry it took 20 minutes to get here, but meat and potatoes time. Let's switch sessions. I'm gonna quit Logic actually, just to give it a little reset on the CPU. And in the meantime, talk to you through here while this is loading. So like I said, I produced I produced most of this just like kind of day of, and then it went through just like a few other changes as we were going along, just like little things getting added, little layers that weren't there, just ideas that I had in the process, and I'll talk about those when I get there. But yeah, meat and potatoes time. Okay, so this is loading. Love to see it. I got this iMac and I still wish it was faster. I don't know, maybe I should have gotten the M1, but I don't know. I mean, don't make no mistake, it's so much better than my MacBook. It is like leaps and bounds, like stronger and more powerful. I could not even like run those plugins on my MacBook at that capacity. I would have to be bouncing down more, or I'd have to be like summing more stuff. And I know it was crapping out on the stream, but I want to say that doesn't normally happen. I really think that the stream's just putting even extra, CPU on it. So I do have to run it at like the highest speed for buffer size. But normally I can run it, less than that, and still get away with, not having to deal with that latency and having to be able to process it. Okay, cool. So here we are. Welcome to the actual session. Reading my notes real quick. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start with like this whole acapella muted. I mean, because it's literally just the acapella with one bus to extra reverb to blend, but it just sounds like this.
No more heartbreaking, no more tears. I'm doing this shit on my own.
Because again, JJ got all the stems, and then he worked on all of it. So yeah, vocals aren't in here, but that's fine. So let's just start from the beginning. I don't know why that is. So here we are at the beginning. This is really how it started. Just like this intro is indicative of like what we wrote it to. Cool. Emma's idea was the tremolo on that like arp, so that was all her. That's from Omnisphere. I guess I did a little piano. This is Keyscape. And I manually did the like fade in reverse because I couldn't find one that already did that. The bass is really funny. It's from Pad Shop. I copped this because of Ian Kirkpatrick because he uses it all the time. But I just rolled with it. This was like one of the first basses I found and I liked. It just had like a little bit crush or kind of digital distortion, which that was cool. I don't know. It just make it work. Like when you find something, just roll with it and make it work. The Read It and Weep might have been me, unless it was Emma pitched down. I just don't know. It was definitely Altar Boy, no question. This idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if that's Emma or me. All the usual processing plus reverb. That's just what I do on vocals. You've seen it. Altar Boy, sometimes. We're on that one. Okay, and then these are just stuff I found. The Caring is Stupid and the Riser. Yeah, so that's just a few things layered from Splice. Can't appreciate Splice enough. Okay, so that's really it. To the verse. So the only addition here is the drums. I mean, I don't know why they're labeled as Omnisphere. They're definitely not. That's just mislabeled. But the drums, I feed all my splice samples into Battery by Native Instruments, and then, you know, be able to play them on my MIDI keyboard. So that's really it. I filtered the kick just because it maybe had a little too much in it, so I wanted it to be like low pass in the verse. Pretty simple, just a splice kick. And this clap, just minimal processing just to like make it sound exactly how I wanted, but not complicated. It's like if I could do it all over again, maybe I would have like picked different sounds, but this is what we have. We built it from this like kick, you know, kick clap bass groove, because that already just gave so much rhythm and information. And of course that like tremolo thing that's continuing. And then halfway through the verse, it looks like we have a piano coming in, just Omnisphere. Cool, easy enough. Everything else stays the same. One more layer, I guess, in the pre, or actually a few more. Just a few more to like build it out. It's just following, doing the same thing. You know, you'll hear him right here. Oh, actually, this is funny. This one didn't even cue. I don't know why. Is it serum? That's so weird. I don't feel like it's supposed to be that quiet, but maybe it is. I don't know. Or it's a grouping thing. Either way. Okay, so pre-strings, yeah, you know the deal. Plus a pad. So just following the chords, easy enough. The strings were like serum, I think. Funny enough, even though serum is not real strings. And then the horn pad, because I had just gotten this is like stock Pro Tools, but I bought it for Logic because it was only $10. The Expand, so I could have it in Logic. Again, trying out the toys. So just rolled with it. Okay, that's all pretty standard. There's a little riser, who cares? And then a nice cut out before the chorus. Let's see if I volumed anything. Yeah, it's always cool to like work your automation on this stuff. Like when there's a cut, draw in the volume, cut it out. Or if you're gonna rise something up, filter it up. You know, automate like a filter. Or I don't know. Looks like oh well, this was probably just panning. So I'm all up in my automation all the time. Although it's funny, there's actually not a lot on this. Probably because some of this stuff I had to bounce for this live stream. But if stuff's cutting out, your boy's automating it out for sure. It's funny you can't always see it. I see that there's some cuts in there. Okay, let's just hit the chorus then. We're going chronological, I guess. Here we are. So like that, for example, that cut before V2, totally like everything got faded down. All right, diving in. So we can see what continues. I mean, this like tremolo thing from the beginning just is always there. Horn pad's always there, as of the pre. It's the pre and chorus vibe. Did add this really cool atmosphere that I found from Splice. And normally I wouldn't do stuff like this and throw it in, but this one just kind of worked. And I did have to, it looks like I did have to filter it and manipulate it. You know, it started out as this. And all I did was, you know, filter out a ton of it just to like keep the part I wanted that was super airy using EQ. And put it to the sides with a little Haas effect. Stereo delay. You can use the sample delay on Logic to do that. Very simple. So then it turned into... So, cut some stuff out. All right. Did use a different bass in the chorus. It sounds exactly the same. I don't really know. I mean, it looks like I didn't take a little low end out because maybe I wanted it to have all of its low endness, but literally it's the same bass. I wish this bass in this song was more exciting. Again, if I could do it over again, maybe I would. It's kind of comical. Okay. Yeah, the meat and potatoes. It's funny. The low end of this song is actually coming from, honestly, these synths, I think. If I just isolate them, you'll hear it better. So yeah, this stuff is all from... This stuff's all from Zenology. It's Roland Cloud. I have a love-hate with it because it's great sounds, but it's a pain in the ass to use. So... yeah, just like these synthy horn layers are from there. This guy. Cool. So yeah. It's funny that I went for the brass approach, but I guess it just gave it that low kind of energy. Totally fake guitar section. The top two are Zenology. The middle one's either a sample or from Serum. Like me playing it just on a MIDI keyboard. Actually, the bottom one probably is that too. Let's listen. It's so gloriously bad because I don't play guitar. Anytime I put guitar on something, it's a humongous struggle or I just fake it. And this was before I had bought the Native Instruments Sunburst, because that stuff sounds really good. You got, Charlie Puth using that stuff. I was just watching Keto on a video. She made Fletcher's song Bitter with that, Sunburst, but this was before I had that, so we were working with what we got. Yeah, that's a manipulated splice loop from Oliver. This is probably me playing. And then these two are just a mix of two different ones from Zenology. Hilarious. But they bolster the sound up. So, okay, I think that just leaves drums. Yep. All right. Drum. That drums by themselves, they're just so vintage and retro. It's the damn 12/8 shuffle, but it's just it's so 80s. It's The Way You Make Me Feel uses something like that. I probably stole it from Tears for Fears. It's the classic 12/8 groove. And the huge toms. Okay, so yeah, shaker. It looks like the kick is layered. I'll just build it up, see what the layers are. So we got kick, snare, clap, shaker, and then the tom fills. All right. I mean, I probably just listen to one of those old records and copy the drum pattern. Here's the shaker. It's all MIDI from the sampler. Wow, I don't even know where that came from, but I found it. Extra clap in the second half. Okay, so that's the opposing rhythm, the syncopation, if you want to call it. Multiple layers of the toms. Humongous. Oliver and my Native Instruments Reverb are to thank for that. Although actually, take that back. Maybe I didn't use it as much as I thought I did. Yeah, probably just drag some samples into the sampler, hit them with Decapitator to just blow them up, hit them with Spiff again because it was new in my arsenal at the time. So just making them punchy, making them distorted, making them that like second one's so chopped. I don't know if that was on purpose or an accident, but it happened. Okay. Oh, and down here, there's a little woo, I think, right here. So that was definitely like a few things I bounced down from Splice to make the woo. Yeah, definitely a few samples. I think they're buried down here somewhere. Yeah, just like 3 woo samples, manipulated to be how I wanted them. Just bounced them down, I guess. And then just a hard cut volume on beat 4, just for effect. And then this telecast thing is just a little into it, I guess. Yeah, so that conglomerate, I guess, kind of sounds like this. Cool. All right. There's not much different in the second verse. There's the addition of the pluck, and looks like a little bit of percussion too. This pluck was my favorite. Sorry, dogs are barking. This Omnisphere pluck, like, just goes such a long way. Just sounds great. Barely did anything. Compressor, Saturn, like, mostly was great as it was. I don't remember what that guy's called. I hope this doesn't crush my project. Pillowy pad piano, that can't be right. No way. I mean, maybe I was just playing it at such a soft velocity. Cool. Okay, so that Tremolo Arp is back. These are just copy pasted again, you know, from pre-1. I think this is 2. Yeah, the great piano. Keyscape or Omni, one of the 2. Yeah, just a nice little, like, line. Do-do-do-do. I don't know, if I'm briefly talking about, like, pop, a lot of, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, you know, unspoken kind of things, I guess, about, like, arranging or composing or whatever, things that, like, fit in the genre a little bit. Like, for me, I think, like, discovering, like, the like, add 2 or the sus 2 chords, they're really open. They just sound really nice. They sound great on your, like, your 1 chord, you know, to just play it open like that. Or, like, on your 5 chord to have the 4 in it. Just, like, little things like that. They just kind of sound really good in the pop sound. Or to, like, add the 4 also in, like, a minor chord. I mean, it's, as a keyboardist, it's like a voicing thing. So to me, it's like, you know, where you're coming from. And everybody may have their different tastes and tendencies, and that's cool. But yeah, I just like messing with those open sounds, those voicings, and a lot of them are in here, just the stuff I play. It's just all coming from, like, keyboard voicings. Can't be studied enough. So we got the rim claps, just adding a little extra syncopation and beat. Really just the do-da, just that like extra thing. It's really small. Everything else is the same. When we get to the end of the chorus or end of the verse, there's a little build up, I guess, just on the last beat bar, really. Yeah, pretty simple. It's funny, if I was doing it again, I might have cut that riser short too for those toms, but whatever. Yeah, nice scrape from Oliver just to lead into it, and then a little pluck like a blink on the beat. Kick build, just 1, 2 on the quarter notes, and the toms. And then we're back, and I think this chorus is just full, so I don't know if there's anything different about this chorus. I really think the chorus is entirely the same as the first one, and then in the bridge, there's a couple fun things that get added. I guess there was maybe, are these crashes new? I don't know. Yeah, a little bigger crashes on the FX side, of course, too. I did them halfway through as well. And then going into the bridge, just because we're right here. I'm going to mute this for a second because I want to come back to that. Going into the bridge a little. Just all these little things you can do to like build, you know, your track. All those transitionary moments, looking for those sweeps. Okay, I don't know why this is down here. I probably should put it somewhere else, but I found this vocal chop early on in the process, like of the day I made it, and it just worked really well. It would have been cool if it was one of us singing it, but it just works really well. So this is the chop in the bridge and the outro. Just like created a really cool melody against the chords. Love it. So that is there. Ali's claps are added in the second half of the bridge. I think the drums are all pretty much the same. Just threw in those big toms on some of those moments, like leading into it and then halfway through probably. The crash is in the effect, so maybe I should put that back. Cool. So yeah, that's all pretty straightforward, honestly. I don't think anything changes on the bass. Like I said, it's really nothing going on with the bass, sadly. Halfway through the bridge, I added actual guitar playing that, that I played, I think. It sounds like this. I actually don't know how I played that, but the real magic is the processing. You know, dry, it sounds like a $150 Squire into my interface. Here's what it sounds like for fun. I guess, like, so here's the thing. If you don't know how to play guitar, and you're like me, if you could just learn that power chord shape, literally just 1-5, maybe even 1-5-8, and be able to just move around the guitar neck like that, it'll get you a long way in pop, I'll tell you. So just a lot of stock stuff, I guess. Just trusted the preset, used a Brit clean, went to the amp. Yeah, just Logic amp. It's not that exciting. Yeah, just trusted what they were doing, but then did go into Amplitude, so I probably got the real sound out of Amplitude. I don't know why I just did that. But I, again, was just reliant on presets and just probably found one that was crunchy and distorted that I liked. Filtered it a little. Hit it with Soothe a little bit. Soothe is another, like, plugin that you don't really need, but if you have it, then reap the benefits. It just makes things sound just a little cleaner. It's like a dynamic EQ, but it's just a little fancier. And then I did a slide, which I had to put on a separate take because I could not have both the slide and the other thing. Well, you already know what it sounds like, but this. So, faked it. But in the context of everything, you cannot tell that it's, faked. It just sounds like one thing. And that's the cool thing about producing stuff. Just make it sound like it's all working together. One thing. Okay. Everything else remains the same. Got that, like, cool vocal droney pad. Got all this. This is new, probably. This guy right here that I just soloed, he's new just for the bridge. So he's probably just like yet another big brassy synth. Cool. So that's pretty much it. Just a big ring out at the end. Just going back to like where we started, the Tremolo Arp, honestly. And then we put the redo and weep halfway through the bridge. That was a later decision, but realized it should be there. All right, so let's listen to this brief moment of down. This is the Don't Need Somebody to Love. And right, a lot of that tail is from the vocal reverb being automated to explode out there.
Don't need somebody to love, 'cause
and then just a huge tom fill. After Don't Need Somebody to Love. Big tom fill and the risers. Yeah, used that one before. Just all that stuff. The vocal impact, the massive crashes. That was another like vocal sound that I found from Splice that just ended up working really well. So I used it at the end. Just sounds great. Can't complain. So that's hanging out. Yeah, just using the same toms, just orchestrated a fill. Da 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 da. Stupid. 12/8. What are you gonna do? The rest is all the same, TBH. At that point, like the track is kind of doing its thing. Like, yeah, I added the, this guy at the end, maybe added a few bigger crashes. Put the extra clap rhythm in the whole time. But yeah, honestly, the track just does its thing, and at that point, it's kind of on the vocals and the ad-libs, by your third chorus to like carry it. So she has that no more, and all that stuff's in the background. Yeah. Think there's any more. Some harmonies too, like no more situations. Yeah. Read it and weep. You can tell I've heard the ad-libs so many times that I know them and can sing them. But yeah, so that just carries it, honestly. So to me, that little thing was huge, actually. This, like, sneak in of the, that, like, choppy thing, and filtering it up like that, and just, again, taking the time with the volume automation to, like, really make sure that everything's balanced. It was huge, so sneaky. Okay, so just for the outro, because it's the end of the song, you gotta do something to like really end on that high note, literally. Add these high strings. Really nothing more to say than that. Omnisphere, great. Okay, blended two things. Probably just because one's high octave, one's lower octave. Did a somewhat minimal amount of processing just to like really secure exactly where I wanted, with the EQ and stuff, and the fresh air, just to probably make them really just like cut through, I guess. And some verb and some direction mix, kind of like an imager, just to probably push them out to the sides. So that's there. Everything else we've heard before, you know, just the outro is a copy of the bridge, you know, and it's a vocal layer too. Like you can kind of hear if I just play that.
When I fall, I get right back up. When I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough. When I fall, I get right back up. When I break, I'm not out of luck. Don't need somebody to love, 'cause I'm on my own and that is enough.
Yeah, so that's like so dense. There's no need to really add anything. I mean, I added the high strings and the bigger crash, and everything else is copy pasted. That one extra vocal layer. A really clean cut at the end, just to finesse that like tail. The bass is also just like a boom. I had to like put it on a separate track, whatever. And everything else is that, you know, needed to be volume cut was volume cut, so that the weep could just, you know, ring out. Okay, this right here, I guess I have to drag it over for us on Instagram. This right here at the very end, one of my favorite like 11th hour editions that just on this guy, I like went back and forth with JJ several times on these notes. I literally sent him a different stem. I was like, this outro synth needs to be pumpy. This is a pumpy synth, and you can tell I automated it. It's just a regular like held out thing, but I put an arpeggiator on it, from Logic. Actually, they have an arpeggiator built in on the MIDI effects. Looking at my processing, it's come from Zenology. EQ just to get the bottom end out, didn't need it. Echo Boy, just probably for space at this point because it's an arpeggio. Reverb, sure. Compressor, why not? LFO tool, the extra pump, because this is side chained with the compressor already to the kick, to make it, you know, whatever it is. It's like it's already side chained and it cuts in, but I needed LFO tool to like make it even pumpier. So this is it by itself. Just like so nice. And I really just like had that idea because I was like, we just need it to go chaotic at the end. We need the delay, and then we need the reaction to that to be the arp. And I just remember feeling that way, like as I produced it, that needed to happen, like you know, and that's how it sounds. So, I mean, I don't think I got more to show. That's kind of the whole song. I haven't really been very active on my stream. I feel like I should have been watching the comments more. Yeah, but I'm putting it up on my phone. I'm just looking. I'm going to assume there weren't comments considering the view count on this guy. But the great news is I'm going to put this on IGTV and I'm going to put it on Twitch, archived, so that y'all can continue to like check it out and watch it. Or if you missed it, you know, same story. So as far as I'm concerned, that kind of concludes everything. I'm just thinking, I mean, at this point, you know, like, yeah, I could talk processing, but it's like a lot of these sounds just came as they were, kind of out of the box, and if they weren't what I needed them to be, then that's at that point I would process them and try to make them what I wanted them to be. And you can see some examples of stuff like that, like the because that was just a vocal. I needed to transform that. Or the caring is stupid. Same story, just like probably had to manipulate the way that sounded vocally, just with Alter Boy or Microshift or Tremolo or Manipulator's cool too. Yeah, I used that as well on that. It's a cool one for manipulating stuff. Yeah, no real secrets. I, when I'm working on mixes usually, or productions I should say, just throw on like OTT and a ozone and a limiter on the master and just kind of call it at that point. Because you don't really need to do too much more. The rest is kind of on whoever's mixing and mastering, I think. But that just helps it like sound good from the get-go. I'm just looking at these folders. Also, you can hear the leaf blower in the background. That's lovely. Yep. And so, yeah, I mean, all the vocals were just kind of processed how I talked about in the beginning of the video. And I really didn't do much. I just looked for sounds and made it work. So that's kind of it for now. I hope to be doing more of these in the future, because this is fun. I just like talking about this stuff. Maybe I'll show some stuff that I'm not, like, that isn't out yet or something, and I can talk about that. We'll see. So that's it. That's it for Read It and Weep. I really don't have any more. I'm just making sure, I'm gonna leave my notes, make sure I covered everything, but like that's everything. Yeah, just look for the good sounds, polish your stuff up, make an arrangement, make something that sounds cool, process stuff, just make choices, feel really like committed to what you're doing, and what you're making or trying to do. It's okay, it's trial and error. Sometimes stuff doesn't work, and listening back to this, I'm like, maybe I would have done things differently, but just keep going. This is what the next one's for. So that's it. I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everyone who watched. And if you missed it, I don't know, find it on Twitch or Instagram. You already know. Peace out, guys. See ya.